Good day, sir. So these are the data we have generated from Caro. As you can see in this table, these are constants we assign to each factor.
After the data has been gathered, we calculate the overall probability of each factor.
So to calculate the probability of each factor, for example, here in environmental condition, we divide the number of high values over the total number of data in environmental conditions, which is 200. Then after that, we calculate the overall probability using the formula given by this task.
So after we calculate the overall probability, which what you can see here at this table, we then calculate the kanang probability per month. So how did we calculate the probability per month? So first is that we assigned three different sheets. No, we have the sheets for the environmental conditions, we have the traffic load, and we have the material fatigue. So to calculate for the probability per month under environmental conditions is first we determine the number of failures per month under this category and then the number of data per month. And then what we did is, for example, here at the January of 2022, so we divide the number of failures per month by the number of entries or data per month. In this way, we get the answer of 66.67%. Now, next to that is we calculate now the binomial distribution per month or the binomial probability per month. So how did we do it? So first is that we determine three important variables. We have the n, which is the number of failures per month, the x, which is the total number of events or the total number of months, and then the individual probability per month of that particular month. Then using the functions in the Excel, we then therefore generate the binomial probability per month of that particular month. So as you can see here in the 2022 of January, we have this probability. Now for the rest of the month, we do the same calculations. So for here, we just divide 5 by 9 and we get this answer. And by that probability, we're able to get the probability per month. Now for the traffic load is that the same equations and functions we did to calculate the probability per month. So what we did first is using the Excel functions is we determine the number of failures under the traffic load and the number of data. And in this way, we can calculate the probability failure per month. And using that answer is we're able to also calculate the binomial probability per month under the factor of the traffic load. And lastly, for the material fatigue is same process. So we get the number of failures per month, the number of data to get the probability failure. And by using that probability failure, we're able to get the binomial probability per month. And again, there are three important variables that we used in calculating the binomial probability. We have the n or the number of failures, the p, the probability of that particular month, and lastly, we have the x or the total number of months or the total number of events. Now, after calculating the kanang binomial probability is we're able to graph based on the ordered months and binomial probability. Let's go first at temperature. So this is the graph of the environmental conditions where as we can see, it is the month of 2022 of August who has the highest percentage among all. Now for the traffic load, it is the month of 2023 of the same August, but different year, no, under sa traffic load. And lastly, for the material fatigue, is that there are two separate months who has the probability of 100%, which is the month of September under 2022 and the month of 2024. So that is how we calculate the probability failure per month and then the binomial per month individually of three separate factors, namely the environmental conditions, the traffic load, and then the material fatigue. Again, as for the recap, what we did in first is we generate the data using the macro and then we assign constants of those three separate variables. And then after that is we individually calculate their probability, like for the probability of temperature, probability of load, and then probability of fatigue. And lastly, by using the formula given by this activity, we're able to determine the overall probability failure of three separate factors. And then the next step we did is to calculate the probability failure per month under temperature, load, and material fatigue. And lastly, using that result of the same probability, we're able to calculate the binomial probability for map. So that's how we calculate all and we calculate all the datas given or produced by the macro. So here again in this video, we calculate the overall probability, the probability per month, and the binomial probability per month. So it will be discussed in the PowerPoint presentation on how we analyze those different data. So that explains it all. So thank you, sir.